This is the story of Conahey Rail and the beginnings of Conahey Rail. In 2014, I bought this Lionel 1987 Conrail Limited train set. It was a train set that I've always wanted since 1987, but could not afford it at that time. I found the train set for a very reasonable price during 2014, and then in 2014, I decided to put it on the floor of my spare bedroom to enjoy it, and thinking this is how I would want to run my train set. But that would be far from reality, as I had a dream of owning an O-gauge layout. Construction for Conahey Rail O-gauge layout actually started in 2015. I ended up using apple crates at a local trucking company who was going to throw them away anyway. I repurposed these apple crates, which were 4 foot by 4 foot by 2 foot high. It took a little bit of work and effort and a little bit of strengthening with 2x4s to reinforce them. But with those apple crates, I ended up building this 8x8 L-shaped layout using guardrails track. I hand bent the guardrails track at an 048 curve so I could fit around the layouts, so it would be on the outside edge. I went on to adding different frames and different sceneries and switches, thinking that this L-shaped layout would be all I would ever want. But then my mind would soon change after I got hooked on other trains. And here we have another scene of the 8x8L. Now let's take a look at the Lionel 1987 Conrail Limited set on Conahey Rail that started in 2015. Video recorded in 2015. Here we have, I'm really enjoying my new Lionel 1987 Limited set. This is the original run of that set here in this clip. Here I have added other train cars to the Lionel Limited set, and I continue on buying train cars as my railroad continues to grow with structures. And I enjoy running this thing around the 040 curves and enjoying analog at this time. But this is just the beginning of many changes to come in the future for Conahey Rail. At this point in time, I wasn't even a high rail layout. My next purchase for Conahey Rail during 2015 would be a 1994 Lionel Conrail SD60M with rail sounds. I thought this was the best locomotive ever, but that was before I discovered TMCC and Legacy. Here I am enjoying my 1994 Lionel SD60M with rail sounds. I thought this locomotive was the best locomotive ever, since it had sounds and a bell and a flashing light on top. At this point in time, I am enjoying analog sounds, and it is running on the original 8x8L that I had built with hand-bent 048 guardrails curves. The curves didn't come out too well, as you see in the video, but that's because I later discovered the hobby shop didn't sell me guardrails flex track. They sold me rigid track, telling me it was flex track. But I didn't know any better since I was just getting back into the O-gauge hobby in 2015. But it still worked, and I was happy for the most part. I quickly got bored with the L-shaped layout that I had made, so I decided to go with a U-shaped layout. You can see here at this point in time in 2015 that I'm still in the G scale, which is what's laying on the floor here. As you can see my progress of adding the U, I added a shelf so I could put my locomotives and have a place to put my locomotives as well. I added more buildings, and I still am using hand-bent guardrails curves at this time at 048. Here we have another view. As you can see, the hand-bent 048 curves and the new formed U-shaped layout. I'm adding more houses and structures to the layout as well as I'm going along. At this point in time, I'm still not sure of what I want to do. I'm just freelancing the layout at this point in time. I was not still O-gauge high rail. I was just typically building an O-gauge layout to build, but I was buying just scale trains at this time, and here I wanted to add a storage area to switch trains on and off the track. I used 027 track that I found cheap on eBay as storage. This allowed me to take trains off the layout, put them in storage so I could put more different trains on the layout, since I had very little room. And then we're going to go back to another view of the overall layout. I decided to go ahead and dive right into Lionel Legacy. I bought two GP30 locomotives made by Lionel Legacy, one powered and one dummy. I was still new to trains at this point in time and was blown away by the sound features. And here I start installing roads and creating roadways on the layout just to make it more realistic. And here's another view of creating those roadways. So here Conahey Rail is starting to take form and shape to what it is today. This last video clip I will show you is my Lionel Legacy GP30 powered and dummy unit in action. Here, my Lionel Legacy GP30 is running around the new U-shaped layout I just built. Here it is going around the 048 handbank curves at this time, and I still have no direction of which way I wanted to go, but once again I'm just freelancing at this point in time, just figuring out what I wanted to do. But right now I am just having fun, enjoying learning about Lionel Legacy and the control system. From this point forward, I was hooked on some type of controls such as the Lionel Legacy and TMTC, so I start moving in that direction. Here we had the train coming by with new train cars that I had bought, and this is all still being done in 2015. We haven't even moved into 2016 yet at this point in time. So a lot has happened within the first year of building Conahey Rail at this time O-gauge layout, and it's not high rail. But everything on the layout so far being used is true scale 148 scale trains. Conahey Rail actually progressed into an O-gauge high rail layout since the construction started in 2015, and also dual mainline. There was a lot of challenges and hurdles to jump over, but that's for another movie. Thank you for watching.